My name's Christian von Fersen. I'm project director at Curve Games, and I'm working with Microbird on Dungeons of Hinterberg.
So Christian, for someone who doesn't know what this game is, give us a brief elevator pitch about what this game's all about.
So Dungeons of Hinterberg is it's an action RPG with social sim elements. It's set in the village of Hinterberg, where recently magic has suddenly appeared. 25 dungeons have appeared, and a big tourism industry has sprung up, and people from all around the world come to experience the magic and try their hand at adventuring.
So talk about like the game loop here. You have a combat, dungeon exploration, and then a social aspect as well.
Yeah, so a typical day in Hinterberg starts with Louisa in her hotel deciding which one of the 4 overworlds she wants to travel to, and then she'll spend the day exploring that overworld, finding a dungeon, completing that dungeon, and then going back to the village where she'll spend her evening hanging out with locals, visiting some shops, and then she'll choose a special character, one of the NPCs in the game, where she has a conversation and she chooses to spend an evening with that person. She gains familiarity with them, and they help her through the game, move the story on, maybe give her an item, a better sword, or unlock something in the world for her to explore.
Now you mentioned that you do know some of the team's inspirations behind this game. Can you talk a little bit about that?
So Microbird is based in Vienna, Austria, and the 2 co-founders are Austrian. So a lot of the inspiration for the game obviously comes from Austria. They spent a lot of time hiking in the countryside in the Alps, and you can see that inspiration in the game. Hinterberg is a very Austrian village, and the monsters in the game are all inspired by Austrian mythological creatures. And yeah, they were also inspired on the social side. They played a lot of Persona, so yeah, so that comes across. And the dungeons and the puzzling, they've taken inspiration from various games, and the art style, they're inspired by a lot of European graphic novels.
You talk about some of the combat in the game. You have magic abilities, melee abilities, but also abilities that are utilized in the environment for puzzles.
That's right, yeah. So in the 4 overworlds, each of the overworlds has 2 specific magic skills with them, and you'll use those magic skills in that environment, in the dungeons, to help you solve puzzles. You can also use it in combat. In addition to that, you also have some magical attack skills called attack conduits. So some of these will come from relationships you build with NPCs. Some of them you'll be able to purchase, but they're sort of bigger attacks that carry through the entire game with you. So you can use a combination of melee with your sword as well as magic skills to defeat the monsters.
So when does the game come out, and what platforms are you aiming for at launch?
So we release next year. We don't have a specific release date yet, but we're coming out on Game Pass, Xbox, and Steam next year.
And since I have to ask, any plans for Nintendo Switch?
Can't say anything about other platforms, but yeah, we don't know.
And then where can people go to find more information about Dungeons of Hinterberg? Discord, forum, website?
So you can we have a Steam page where you can go to wishlist the game. Dungeonsofhinterberg.com has a website about the game, and we do have a Discord that people can join.